All right, guys. Last what's next I'm doing today is on former WBA heavyweight champion Alexander Povetkin. Povetkin currently, he last fought in December on the Andy Ruiz-Anthony Joshua undercard against Michael Hunter and got walked out with a draw. He was favored to win, but he wasn't a heavy favorite. Michael Hunter boxed well. It ended up being a good fight, and the fight ended up being a draw. It was a close fight, so it was about the right call. Povetkin's currently tied for 9th right now in a three-way tie for 9th in the heavyweight division. And next, he's supposed to be facing Dillian Whyte for the WBC interim title on July 2nd. That fight is most likely going to be what he does next. Personally, I think Dillian Whyte is the favorite, but I really wouldn't be surprised if Povetkin pulled off the upset here and got the win and became interim champ. I really wouldn't be surprised. Povetkin is a full load, solid heavyweight, got power, and can box also and set his punches up. So, and Dillian Whyte is hittable. So I think he is a live underdog going into that fight with Dillian Whyte. And if he pulls off the win, he's probably going to face the winner of Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder next. Because he'd become the interim champion and a mandatory challenger. So, that pretty much covers what is going to happen if he wins. And if he loses, especially if he loses convincingly, he's probably going to retire, because he's been talking about that. He said he wanted to make one last run, and right now he's set himself up perfectly in this fight with Dillian Whyte. And if he pulls off the win, which he could, if he pulls it off, it most likely would mean a fight with Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder for the WBC title in February of next year, because that's the rule right now, that the interim champion Dillian Whyte has to fight for the WBC title by February of 2021. So it looks like one fight in July, and then the winners of those two fights are going to fight each other, because Fury and Wilder have their third fight locked up. So Povetkin, he's one win away really right now, and if he pulls it off, that is almost for sure going to be the case of what happens. We'll kind of briefly run through the top 10 just in case the WBC doesn't honor that and allow him to fight for the WBC title. Who next could be? Let's start with Tyson Fury. Again, I think if Fury beats Wilder and Povetkin beats Whyte, I think those two guys would lock up, unless Fury decided to go on and do something else because Povetkin's not a big enough fight and vacate the WBC title if he went forward and fought for another world title. But, that's the logical choice. Number 2, Anthony Joshua, a rematch, unified title. Not going to happen next, even if he beats Dillian Whyte, because Joshua already knocked him out. Plus, Joshua has a mandatory against Usyk due after the Pulev fight, so not going to happen. Deontay Wilder. He could face Wilder. These guys almost fought a few years ago. He could face Wilder if Wilder wins the title back from from Tyson Fury. So, that fight's definitely possible if Povetkin pulls out the win over Whyte. Number 4 is, Andy Ruiz Jr. If Ruiz is rated in the WBC rankings and for some reason Tyson Fury wanted to vacate the title, I think him and Ruiz could fight. Or if he just wanted to stay busy because, another fight is made between Joshua in the mix, or if they allowed a fourth fight between Wilder and Fury to happen, if Wilder were to pull off the upset, then maybe, but I don't think so. Povetkin against number 5, Luis Ortiz. I don't think he'd go after Ortiz. That'd be too risky, and Ortiz is not a mandatory at anything, so I don't see it. Number 6, Alexander Usyk. Not seeing this one. Usyk is lined up to fight for the WBO title next, so not seeing him and Povetkin. Number 7, Dillian Whyte. He's fighting Dillian Whyte. That's happening next for sure. July 2nd is the proposed date right now. That's up in the air depending on the coronavirus pandemic and when that gets lifted and is done with. Number 8, Joseph Parker. Makeable fight because they're both with Matchroom, but not likely because Povetkin, if he wins, is probably going after the WBC champion. But maybe to finalize a mandatory position if for some reason Povetkin can't get that title fight. Number 9, rematch with Michael Hunter. You know, possibly if he's waiting around and he wants to get a decent name in between the title fight, but I don't think he'd take that risk if he were victorious over Dillian White. And then Kubrat Pulev, not likely. Pulev is fighting for the unified title, probably going to lose, and I don't see him and Povetkin locking up. And then last is, that's it. That's actually it for the top 10 right there for Povetkin. So what do I think Povetkin's doing next? I think he's going to get the fight with Dillian White. I think he's going to lose, but I definitely think he's a live underdog and could win, as I said. And that would make him the mandatory challenger and the interim champion for the WBC title. So he's lined himself up very nicely here with this opportunity against Dillian White, and this is his last chance at glory. Povetkin's been a great heavyweight. He really has. He's flown under the radar. He's been a great heavyweight. He's been around since like 2007. Been one of the top heavyweights in the business, and he deserves one last run, and he's getting it, and he's got the opportunity to get himself another title shot. So we'll see what he does with it. July 2nd, Povetkin versus Dillian White. That's a what's next on Alexander Povetkin. Hope you enjoyed it. True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.